Third-party voters the reason that we have Donald Trump as our president right now? The answer is no. The reason is because of the Democratic Party. They're the ones to blame. Why? Because while Biden was still the nominee, their polling showed that they were taking massive hits in support from their voter base over their participation and support for the genocide in Gaza. Biden's decision to give Israel as much money and as many weapons as they needed to carry this out to decimate Gaza into rubble was the reason why there was hundreds of thousands of Democratic voters in the primaries coming out to protest vote against Biden, showing him that they were not going to vote for genocide come election. Okay, that was Biden though. What about Kamala Harris? Well, when she came in, her internal polling actually showed that she was never projected to win. Her internal polling also showed that if she were to switch her stance on Gaza, not even to support Palestine, but just to withhold weapons from Israel at the bare minimum, she stood to lose very little support in return for massive gains amongst independents, her own supporter base, and even Republicans in every single swing state. I talked about this when it happened. In the week before the election, I remember looking at these polls, talking about the same exact thing. All Kamala Harris needed to do to have at least a decent shot at beating Trump was not do a genocide, not be pro-genocide. They knew this for months, probably a year before the election, and they still chose to carry out a genocide. If you just need a little bit more proof, here's some polls post-election talking about how voters stayed home. People who voted for Biden in 2020, millions stayed home or voted for Trump or voted for third party because of Gaza. That was their number one issue. People want to, ask me why I pushed third parties, why I pushed against the Democratic Party. Well, for one, I'm not endorsing genocide. For two, for a moment I thought there that putting pressure on the Democratic Party would maybe get them to change their policy. I mean, it made sense. It made logical sense for them to do so for months on end, and they still did it. So on top of, carrying out a genocide, they also chose to lose the election to carry out a genocide. And I don't think I need to say this. You heard this in every TikTok video about third parties. But if all the November third-party voters voted for Kamala Harris, she still would have lost. It's not my fault. It's not a third-party voter's fault. It's not the people who didn't vote or chose to vote for Trump that Kamala lost. She chose to lose. She could have won, and she didn't. She tried to commit genocide over winning. One last thing. Help TikTok show this video to more people. Spam the copy link button because it helps a lot. There's a ton of links in my bio where you can support Palestinians by donating. So if you can, then I encourage you to please go check those out. Thank you, and free Palestine.